Hey there, and welcome to Go Far Girl, the podcast where women share the stories that changed them, one journey at a time. I'm your host, Chantelle. I'm a travel writer and a lifelong wanderer, and I believe that every mile we travel brings us closer to the strongest, boldest, most authentic versions of ourselves. Each week, I'll sit down with incredible women to talk about the trips that shaped them, the lessons they learned along the way, and the power of going far in every sense of the word. So grab your coffee, your journal, or your carry-on, and let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the very first episode of Go Far Girl, a podcast for women who believe that travel isn't just about going places, it's about becoming more of who we are. I'm Chantelle, and I'm so glad you're here. I created this space because I know firsthand how powerful travel can be. It's not always about the bucket list and picture perfect views. Sometimes it's about proving to yourself that you are capable, you are strong, and you are worthy of joy. A little bit about me. I grew up in Northern California and now live in the Pacific Northwest with my husband and our 3 dogs. I'm a writer, a mom, and a woman who has been through some really hard things, including an abusive marriage that made me question everything about myself. But something happened along the way that it started to shift the story I was telling myself. Years ago, when I was still married and honestly going through one of the roughest times of my life, my little sister called and said that she wanted to do a road trip to Moab, Utah. Her, me, and my kids. I was hesitant and I was scared, and I didn't even think I would be allowed to go. But for some reason, he changed his mind and I was allowed to go. And so I drove. I drove alone with my kids from Washington all the way to Utah. Just me, the boys, a packed car, snacks, road trip playlist, and that wide open feeling you get on a long drive. Picked up my sister and we hiked through arches. We hiked through canyonlands. We explored museums and saw movies. We pulled over for quickie roadside stops. I did it all on my own. And during that trip, something in me changed. For so long, I had been told I was stupid. I couldn't handle things alone. I needed him. And some part of me had started to believe that. But out there, on the trail, on the road, with my kids laughing in the back seat and rolling down red dirt hills, I started to doubt him instead of doubting myself. Out there, as I turned the corner and I saw a delicate arch come into view, it hit me, and I realized that I could do hard things. I could plan, lead, explore, and enjoy my life without needing anyone to tell me how. And maybe even more importantly, I saw how much fun we were having without his energy, without his presence, and without the tension. That trip was the beginning of something new. It planted a seed. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was starting to come back to life. And that's really what this podcast is about. Go Far Girl is a space for stories like that. Real, honest, empowering stories of women who have found growth, healing, confidence, and joy through travel. Sometimes it happens on a solo trip across the world. Sometimes it happens on a road trip a few states over. But it always starts with one step, one choice, the choice to go far. Each week, I'll be bringing you stories from women who've gone far, in miles and in life. You'll hear inspiring interviews, personal reflections, practical tips for navigating travel, solo adventures, and everything in between. We'll talk about the mess, the magic, and all the moments that stay with you long after the trip ends. This podcast is for the woman who's curious about the world, curious about herself, for the woman who's been through some things and still wants more, for the woman who's just starting to dream about going, and for the one who's already gone and cannot wait to go again. If that sounds like you, I hope you'll subscribe and stick around. This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see how far we'll go. Thanks so much for listening to Go Far Girl. If this episode made you smile, dream a little bigger, or realize it's never too late to book the trip, I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with a friend. And hey, we've got an amazing group of women waiting for you inside our Facebook community. Just search Go Far Girl, come on in and say hi. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and never stop going far.